One other thing to talk through, and this is around computer system assurance. Those of you who I don't know if everybody's read this. If you haven't, if you're in the GMP world, if you're working with GMP data, anything that has to pass Part 11 compliance, like data integrity, anything with electronic signatures, electronic records, very much encourage you all to read this guidance. I didn't want to dive too deep into this, but you can tell a lot of the things that I'm talking about have to do with not just how I use the systems to get value out of them, but how do I test them? How do I maintain them? What's the story? The biggest thing here for this particular guidance, critical thinking. Critical thinking is everything. Critical thinking meaning what's the GMP impact? What's the risk? What type of test do I need to run? And what's more important is to understand the critical thinking piece, as opposed to diving in and saying, oh, well, I'm just going to test everything. That's the original interpretation of the CSV guidance issue 2000. That's how it got interpreted. This is to correct that thinking. If we're going to be risk-based, you have to be thinking critically about your systems. And that critical thinking has to be done in a hybrid fusion team. I can't make a testing decision based purely off of what an IT OT person might be thinking, or just what a manufacturing scientist might be thinking, or just what quality is thinking. These architectures, what's being built, how we're bringing these things together, if I'm going to assess the impact of something, I need all the players in the room. So if I have a low no-code solution, for example, and I build an application that it does some calculations and it tells the operator what to do next, those calculations need to be assessed. I need to assess what they are and what the impact is and how I test them, and if I need to be scripted tested or unscripted testing. Anything that I enter, you have to give yourself that type of information. If you have a fusion team, you can have a better decision about how that's tested, but why it's important, and how you would test it based off of what the technology does and what the business case is. Really important here about thinking about how you bring your teams together.